Hey, welcome to Bible U. I'm Pat. Today we're going to talk about the central truth of Christianity. Years ago, I was asked what I thought the central truth of Christianity was. I love the question, so I posed the same question to several mentors and friends. I asked them to not respond quickly, nor give me some kind of Christianese formula. Instead, I asked if they would pray and meditate before answering. Wow, did I love and treasure their answers to my question. One of them responded with this. He said, and I quote, "The central truth of Christianity is that I was dead, but am now alive." How dead was I? Dead. Real Christianity depends on being truly and totally dead. And we humans will do almost anything to keep from embracing that we are totally dead in our trespasses and sins. Dead is important. Today, I must once again die, he said. Constantly dying to myself is a daily reality. But it's not just death, it's also alive. How alive am I? As alive as Jesus is. His alive is my alive. He died and rose again from the dead. He is alive. That is how alive I can be. This friend went on to say, I struggle to believe, embrace, and live both of these realities, but real Christianity requires that I constantly die to myself and constantly embrace my new life. You see what I mean? I got some incredible answers. Here's another one. And again, I quote, "There is so much I feel like I want to say, but it's so easy to slip into a uniform Christianity that majors on religious behavior. I feel like my inaccurate reaction is to say, well, you have to look and behave and believe like this to be a real Christian. But it's so wrong. Here's the simple truth that I feel led to. Real Christianity is simply remaining in Christ. John chapter 15 makes it pretty clear. Jesus is the vine, we are the branches. Our greatest responsibility is to remain connected to him. Whew. And my friend wasn't finished. He went on to explain, a well-connected vine produces more and more fruit. Not because the branch worked hard to produce the fruit, but because it maintained a good connection to the vine. It's so easy to make our fruit the focus and how we determine someone's Christianity. But grace is better than that. It's having a connection to the true vine of Christ that produces fruit for us. Our aim is to be in Christ and then remain in him. All other beliefs and behaviors will stem from that. Similarly, another mentor of mine responded to my question this way. He said, the core of Christianity is fellowship with God, and everything after that is a consequence of that relationship. Not long after receiving these responses, another friend gave me more to ponder. He said this, it's interesting that whenever someone in the Bible is asked if they have the real thing, do they go back to a time and date? Instead, they go to how they are living out this faith in the present. So much to contemplate, isn't there? Perhaps some of you are wondering how I would answer that question. What is the central truth to Christianity? Well, I'm not smart enough to come up with my own answer. So let me steal something from a pretty smart dude who wrote more of this than anyone else. His name was Paul, and when writing about Jesus, he said this, something I think might be a pretty good way to define the central truth of Christianity. Colossians chapter 1, verse 15 through 20. He, Jesus, is the image of the invisible God and the firstborn over every creature. For by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they are thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that in all things he may have the preeminence. For it pleased the Father that in him all the fullness should dwell. And, this is the key, to reconcile all things to himself by him, having made peace through the blood of his cross by him. Wow. So how about you? What would you say is the central truth of Christianity?